Hello friends, I'm Will Michael reporting from Hudson Street in Bethel, Connecticut, where the topic of leap year has this neighborhood divided. In America today, there's a growing number of people who want to abolish leap year and institute a new calendar system to account for those lost hours that leap year compensates for. This quiet suburban neighborhood is split over the decision about leap year. Today we'll talk with abolitionists and advocates on the topic of leap year and hopefully shed some light on this issue. Here's a brief lesson on what leap year is. It takes the Earth 365.24219 days to revolve completely around the Sun. Even this number changes as planets influence the Earth's movement in space over time. The .24219 works out to be 5 hours, 48 minutes, and 46 seconds a year extra that the Earth takes to complete its orbit. Leap year usually comes every 4 years, but there are occasions when the interval between leap years is 8. This all has to do with complex astronomical measurements. But leap year has several social ramifications as we are about to explore. As we interview our guests, keep these facts in mind.
If we could clarify the situation so that at least the seniors could, it would be something that they could cope with.
If you start to think about it, you get very embroiled in something you really can't handle.
Simplify it.
Simpler system. I mean, the whole thing is so convoluted. The point is that the government's been monkeying around with our calendar for years.
If you expire a day before the end of leap year, you'll have lost that day that you could have enjoyed immensely in these days of TV and electronic life.
People are living to be so much older now. I mean, with medical technology the way it is, I say get over it.
If you were to start, at the beginning with society, it would probably be a very easy thing to implement and do it properly. But since it's already embedded in our society, not only for financial institutions, but travel, finances, it's too well embedded in our systems to start beginning to change.
We've opened the Pandora's box. It was opened when we first started using physical labor. Now when you have to compensate for physical labor, you need a mechanism in place that will give you an hourly wage. Now you take that to the next step, now you have to have a calendar.
The only thing I see is leap year is a corporate conspiracy. 365 days a year, that's what the working man should work. What's this 366 days on the leap year? It's too much.
Because it's so entrenched in our society that it would probably be a financial burden for the United States to try to change, just like the metric system was trying to be introduced some years ago and failed.
I think this is a corporate conspiracy just to get one more day out of the working man, out of the hard working man, not this corporate white collar stuff.
Suppose in a small town we have a select man or a select woman in charge of the city, and we're not happy. And here these people have got an additional 24 hours on the job.
There are a lot of people who will be affected by this change, not to mention daytime TV viewers such as myself. I mean, there's the People's Court, there's Judge Judy. TV Land, when they have the Mr. Ed Marathon, are they supposed to tack on 2 or 3 extra minutes every hour when they're trying to present programming? I think not.
It takes someone of, complex math abilities to straighten that out.
The seniors, they are confused enough about what's going on, trying to cope with life.
It's very stressful.
I never knew anything about the adjustments made for leap year.
We should just keep everything the way it is.
There's a conflict between the calendar and hourly wage and increments of minutes and hours and the actual solar and lunar timetable.
I think it is unfair that there are people who are trying to change it. What about Sadie Hawkins dances where, on the leap year, the girl is supposed to invite the boy to the dance? What would happen to that tradition?
The most overly looked minority group in the United States are those people whose birthdays are on leap year. Like myself, I was born on leap year, and I find it truly unfair here in the United States, the land of equal opportunity, that I only get a birthday once every 4 years. I think it's time for a real change.
Person that's born on leap year, he doesn't know if he's 5 years old or is he 20 years old.
To those people who were born on February 29th, whatever that means, I just want to say I can feel their pain. I can testify to that. My birthday used to be February 22nd, and when they changed President's Day, my birthday is now the third Monday in February. How do you think that affected me?
As we're investigating the issue of leap year, we're finding that there's so many other issues involved. Economics, birth, death, insurance, you name it, the list goes on and on.
Although I accept leap year for what it is, there are other options that can be had. A leap month. Once every 40 years, we take a whole month off and we go to the beach.
Leap year is leap year. It exists. It's there. Don't monkey around with it.
In daylight savings time, if we arbitrarily set clocks forward and backward to suit ourselves with the sunlight, and we can maybe take, instead of setting it ahead an hour, we set it ahead a half hour.
I absolutely do not agree with this movement to get rid of leap year.